older, a year smarter, a year seasoned, even more. They still needed to show up against this Michigan team. Like, Michigan's from another conference. These aren't going to be the lower of our conference, like pushovers. These aren't going to be those normal like tune-up games that you get. This is like a serious opponent, and for us to have won, two things needed to sorry, not two things. The biggest thing that needed to happen was that our elite defense needed to be elite.
Yeah, I can't agree more with you. I focused more for my first point on the defense. I focused mainly with the D-line. I felt they truly needed to show up. As Michigan coming into this game has 4 new offensive linemen they had this year because they had 4 leave. For a couple went to the NFL and a couple just graduated. With UW's veteran D-line of Levi Onwuzurike and then Joe Tryon would have been playing this game had there been the game probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt they needed to dominate the line of scrimmage going up against a young offensive line. And Michigan's also got a young quarterback, so they might have leaned on the run game, which then would have put more pressure on the Husky run defense. So I think it really was needed for the Husky D-line to step up and make a large impact in this game if it had happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, just piggybacking off of you, like, not only does that defensive line need to have stood out and like been great with Levi O and who's
Joe Tryon.
Like, those two needed to have been playing at the top of their game, and our secondary couldn't have slacked off. Granted, our secondary has 2 people that ranked in the top 50 of the PFF, and they have an insane roster depth at cornerback, safeties, and inside linebackers, where I don't think we would have had too much problem if we were focused the whole game.
Yeah, I think the secondary, I was more focusing on the D-line due to secondary going up against that young quarterback. I'm just hoping that if they had been on the game plan like Elijah Mold and Trent McDuffie, these guys should have shown up the game. So I focused more on D-line, but yeah, secondary needed to be on point in order for this game. It's kind of awkward talking about a game
that didn't happen.
And it's not going to happen this year.
Just really quickly, for anyone who might doubt us on our like elite defense actually being an elite defense, for like coming into the season, we were ranked 10th by 24/7 Sports, 35th by NCAA stat rankings out of every CFB team, 15th by OddsShark, and for the JCAD-R, which is the Joseph Claypool annual defensive rankings, I ranked them top 5. So, I mean, that's why I said they had to show up to be elite, because out of most of that, it's coming out of most other teams and analysts not really sure that we're an elite team, us knowing we are and just needing to have showed up. You mentioned linemen earlier, and that's my second point, is that we as a